to do that. It's always good to know. Okay. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining me tonight. I'm really looking forward to going through this masterclass talking about hand luggage. I've been practicing this skill for a while now and love being able to pack and not pay those fees to the airlines, and but still have lots of clothes to wear if I'm going away for a few days. And so hopefully, you'll pick up lots of tips tonight to help you as well, because I think it's a skill that lots of us need to be able to know and understand, going forward. And, go forward from there, and, so that we know how to do this, because I think it's, I'll say, a skill we increasingly will need to know about. So the 3 secrets, I'm sure there are more, but these are the ones that I think make the biggest difference to ensure that you travel light, look amazing, and wear everything in your suitcase. Plus, remember everything that you want to take with you as well. That's kind of key. So just a little bit of housekeeping before we get going. You're all muted throughout the presentation, so feel free to eat, drink and iron, or do whatever you need to do whilst this is going on, because no one will know. However, if you do have a question, please type it in the box on the top right hand side of the screen, because it does make my life a lot easier if you get involved, and I'll stop at various points to check the question box and to see if people need to know anything. So do shout out if I haven't made anything clear or you've got a further question. And so you're in the right place tonight. If you've ever been delayed at the luggage carousel waiting for your suitcase to turn up and getting really, really frustrated, or if you're fed up, as I said, with paying extra fees to the airlines, which it seems to be increasingly the norm now, to add on an extra fee to put a suitcase in the hold, or if you've ever come away from a trip with more clothes, clean clothes than dirty ones. It seems a bit daft, but we always seem to take a few just in case kind of clothes. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Gail Morgan, and I've been lucky enough to be an image consultant and trainer for over 20 years. And basically, I help busy women feel more comfortable and confident in their clothes by simplifying the art of getting dressed, because it shouldn't be a strain, it shouldn't be difficult. And if you know a few simple tips, it can make all the difference to how you get dressed in the morning. And over those years, I've been privileged to work in numerous women's wardrobes, helping them to feel confident with their clothing choices. I also was lucky enough to work for John Lewis as a consultant fashion advisor for about 4 years in a number of their stores, helping people in the stores to shop and to find clothes, and also to run fashion shows and things like that. I've also run corporate seminars for a variety of different companies, different size groups, looking at the importance of personal branding and how people come, look at and come across when they're talking to their peers and to clients. And I train people to join this amazing profession and help them set up their own image consultancy businesses. And that's just a joy and a pleasure for me to be able to help them, and it's great to see how they develop. Plus, I'm a wife and a mum, and I've been building my business around my kids. Started off when I was pregnant with Tom, but as you can see, he's now all grown up and just about to buy his first house. So it's great. And my daughter's just about to turn 21, so all grown up now. But different skills are needed at this stage as well. So what you'll discover today are 3 simple tips to help you with packing overwhelm, plus making sure that you have plenty of choice and various outfit options really to wear when you're away on a 3-day trip for business or for pleasure. And if you stay to the end, and because you're here live tonight as well, I will give you a link to my list of what I would recommend as a basic list to take with you when you're packing your suitcase, and so that you can have that to use yourself, so you don't have to make copious notes at that stage. You will be sent the link to it. So a little bit of background about me. My fashion heyday, if we can call it that, was in the 1980s, which most people would describe as the decade that fashion and style forgot. But we thought we were cool. We thought we knew what we were doing. I certainly thought I was the bee's knees, was wearing all the different colours and the leg warmers and the, everything else that was around at that time, shoulder pads. And, that's what, and having permed hair, that was one of the other things as well. But, thought I was great, knew what I was doing, working for a fashion retailer, and had always been interested in clothes and fashion, but had never heard about image consultancy or colour analysis. But in the late 80s, my mum had a colour analysis session, and I was lucky enough to sit in on the consultation with her. And I guessed I'd be the same as her when we were there. And it was really interesting to see her change over the following few weeks, because I was at home, I was convalescing from an operation, so I was with her as she went through this process. And, it really helped cement our relationship as well, because which she'd never been, we'd never had that relationship where we'd go shopping as a leisure pursuit, which I do with my daughter. She was never that particularly bothered about clothes, and it was never been a particular interest. So now she had this skill and this knowledge. We could talk about it, she could discuss clothes, she understood all about it, and so she felt that we really kind of connected over this. And she still looks amazing now in her early 80s, when she's wearing the colours, because she won't deviate from it, and it makes her look amazing and feel amazing, and has really helped simplify her wardrobe. So from there, I kind of trained when I was pregnant with Tom, as I said, and built my business up, lived in about 3 or 4 different places and built the business up each time. And as I say, started working with John Lewis and training. And I've also been professional. I've also been president of our professional body. So got involved with that for a long time as well. So done loads of different things, but still really enjoy rummaging in people's wardrobes to help them to discover the clothes that will work for them, and so that they feel comfortable and confident in their clothes. So on to the topic in hand. Just to give you a little bit of background, I did actually, between leaving university and working for the retailer, I did a job for 2 years which involved interrailing around Europe with a rucksack and a suit carrier, because I was going to interview businessmen as part of the project that I was involved with. I had to look smart, but we didn't have the budget for me to be flying left, right, into all these different places in Europe. So the easiest and cheapest way for me to do this was to interrail. And so I packed a variety of different things, most of them wrong for what I was doing. But, this was my real first experience of trying to pack light. So it certainly changed by the time I did my second interrailing session from the first time. On notable occasion, I did forget my passport, so had to go a day later. So, that's always top of my list to make sure that's in my bag before I go anywhere. And in the past, going away for a weekend or for a conference or something like that, I've packed too many pairs of shoes, I've packed too much stuff. I've definitely come home with, not quite more clean stuff, but definitely a lot of clean clothes rather than dirty ones. And I think, what I was doing wrong, what I know clients have done wrong in the past, is that, I was packing too many individual outfits. So now I use all my knowledge as an image consultant and personal stylist to really hone down my wardrobe, because if you think about it, what a suitcase is, it is your ultimate capsule wardrobe, because for those few days, whether it is just for the 3 days we're talking about tonight, or whether it's for a week or a fortnight or a couple of months, then you do need to, have that capsule wardrobe, and it's got to work really hard for its position in the suitcase, really. And when I'm working with my private clients, these are the sort of topics that we would discuss, that we would work through. and I've collated all this together into my Wardrobe That Works program. But as you can see, the wardrobe management, the capsule wardrobe part of the process is actually quite a long way down the list of topics that we cover, because we need to do other things first before we can effectively create that capsule wardrobe. But more about that later. Okay, so I've got 3 top tips to share, and so this is top tip number 1, and it's about thinking ahead and planning. And it's not rocket science, it's common sense, but it is about thinking about these things before you go away. Because if you've gone through this sort of checklist before you go, it will help you to hone the clothes that you are going to pack in that suitcase. Because, you have to be, as I said earlier, just be ruthless that they have to work hard. So think about where you're going. So, is it a hot climate? Is it a cold climate? Is it something in between? When are you going? So equally that will potentially have an impact on the types of clothes you're going to be wearing, because is it going to be sunny? Is it going to be colder? Those things will have an impact as well. And where you're going, I mean, if you were going on a business trip, then, are you going to be staying most of the time in the hotel? So you won't need too many warm things, unless obviously you're sat underneath the air conditioning unit. But, generally, if you're stuck in a hotel most of the time, you're not going to need lots and lots of jumpers if it's cold outside. So equally, what are you going to be doing? So if there's a conference, then, that's, as I say, kind of set in stone. You'll have an agenda, so check that agenda out. But if you're on a city break, then, you're going to be sightseeing. What sort of places are you going to be going to? Are you going to a fancy restaurant? Think about those types of things. Who are you going with? Is it just with the partner, or is it with a group of friends? Is it a hen weekend, or is it business? So you're going with colleagues, because again, all of these will have some implication on the type of clothes and accessories you're going to take with you. And then how long for? So as I said, we're looking mainly tonight at that weekend away and packing your carry-on suitcase. But more and more people are looking at, taking the carry-on suitcase for a week away, or even for 2 weeks away. So the same principles will apply. You just need to pack smart if you're going to be doing that sort of thing. And especially if you're on a beach holiday, because, you're probably not going to wear too much during the day, are you? So, you can probably double up on a few things. But the main practicality from packing hand luggage only is to check the size of the suitcase that is allowed, the maximum size of suitcase that's allowed as hand luggage with your aircraft that you're going on, so that you can ensure they're not going to sort of block you and make you check the suitcase in when you check in. So, just be sure that you've checked that out, and that you will, you're following the guidelines there. Because there certainly isn't any need for this. If you're going away for 3 days, you certainly don't need that much luggage. Other things to remember, and I would make a list for this, and this can go down, for different types of holiday, different types of breaks. Think about having a sort of a list, put it on, somewhere, get an Excel spreadsheet set up and do that. Make sure you take your passport. A friend of mine who might be listening tonight knows that she forgot hers a couple of weeks ago and had to delay her flight as well. So passport and tickets, money and credit cards, any travel insurance, toiletries we're going to look at in a moment. So then adapters, chargers, any electrical appliances you're going to be needing when you're away. If you're going on a work or a conference, a work trip or a conference, you might need to take your laptop, you might need to take work documents. Whereas if you're going on more of a sightseeing kind of a city break, then maybe a guidebook you'd need to take. Okay, so that's the planning side of things. So just kind of think along those lines. My tip number 2 is about packing. So again, from a practicality point of view, check with your airline that you're going with, can you take your handbag in as part of your hand luggage allowance, or are you only literally allowed one piece of hand luggage, so everything has to go in the suitcase? We all know the airlines involved where they might get a bit picky about this, so just double check. A lot of airlines now, you will be allowed a small handbag as in addition to your hand luggage. But just, from your point of view, if you've got a massive handbag and there's no way you can get your handbag inside the carry-on suitcase, you could be ditching things at check-in. And so that, I'd rather you didn't get to that stage. So either take a small kind of body bag kind of handbag to take with you, which can easily go inside the suitcase, or double check, if you're lucky enough that you can take your handbag on board, then great. As I say, lots of places do that now, but double check beforehand. So when you are packing, use smaller items to stuff into corners or maybe inside shoes. So we're talking underwear, we're talking pants, socks, tights, stockings, whatever, inside of your shoes, because that's using up space. Also, there's a lot of space sort of in the slats where the wheels will go on the back of your carry-on suitcase. So if you start to roll your garments rather than folding them, you can actually pack loads of clothes inside the grooves of the wheels of the suitcase. And so, practically you've got most of your wardrobe in the suitcase before you've done anything else, if you fill those gaps and those grooves in. And rolling is amazing, absolutely amazing for minimizing the creases in your garments. You'll see later on, I went to Rome recently and I took a pair of linen trousers, rolled them, shook them out when I got there. Absolutely perfect. I won't say there wasn't any creases because they're linen, but it certainly wasn't all scrunched up and didn't have any lines like you would do if I'd folded them. So, absolutely my top tip is to roll things. A, because it takes up less space, and B, it really does eliminate those creases and really helps when you get to the other end. Any shoes that you have in your suitcase, put in a plastic bag. This saves them if there's any dirt on the bottom of the shoes. Obviously, it stops them then making your clothes dirty. And take a laundry bag. Now, you could have a posh laundry bag. It just could be another plastic bag, but it just means you can put your dirty clothes in there and keeps them out of the way. And then more packing tips. Now, I say make your suitcase identifiable, so that could mean just sticking a piece of coloured ribbon on the outside of the suitcase, because hopefully, as we've said, your suitcase is going to be with you all the time, so it won't make any difference. But occasionally, if you're late for your flight and there's a lot of people who have got hand luggage only, some airlines will make you put your suitcase into the hold. So it's always handy to have something that's identifiable. So as I say, whether that's a colourful luggage tag, I put a colourful piece of ribbon around my suitcases so I know it's mine, because in a sea of black suitcases, you want to make sure that yours stands out. And then to help with the packing inside your suitcase, you can use things like plastic bags, packing cubes, even vacuum bags for your clothes. But if you've got separate bags, you can store your electrical equipment in there, or all the adapters and the flexes and things that you might need. So it just keeps them out of the way. Alternatively, they can, be squeezed into little corners, like we were talking about the underwear earlier on, so they could squeeze into corners as well. But just something to, sort of keep things so that safe and also easy for you to find them. And then pack your essentials into your handbag, or if you can't have that separate handbag, into your body bag, or at the worst case, easily accessible into your suitcase. So either at the top of your suitcase, or if there's an outside zip pocket, put some your money, your passport, tickets, and then have your phone, your tablet or laptop easily accessible, because you have to put them out in the little trays as you're going through check-in, and then your toiletries. Okay, so we all know that toiletries now have, if you're not checking in a bag, you have got to put them into a Ziploc clear bag. And any liquids can only be carried at a maximum of 100 ml. So you have to decant your products into small pots or bottles. Now, because you're only going away for 3 days, then that should be fine for you. Or, you know, if you're going to a nice hotel, they should have some decent products, even if it's only, you know, shampoo and body wash. And you know, you certainly don't need to take any soap or body wash with you, unless, you know, you've got allergies or anything. The other top tip is that if you're going away for longer, or you want to have a bigger pot of something, you can always buy it in the Boots chemist after you've gone through check-in. There'll always be a little Boots there. And actually, if you really plan ahead, you can order to pick up your order from that Boots, and so you know that they've got the things that you want in stock. So it's kind of like a shopping, you know, when you've done your shopping, online shopping, you can go and pick it up in the shop. And so if you are going for longer than a 3-day trip, and say you want to buy some suntan lotion or after sun or some insect repellent or whatever it is, but they're larger than 100 ml bottles, then that is my real top tip, that you can go in and buy and order it online or buy it in Boots after you've been through the check-in procedure. And some of the little top tips to help stop the liquid that you do have in there spilling. Hopefully it should be all right within your hand luggage, but you can always cling film the top of, take the lid off, put some cling film over the top of the bottle, and then put the lid back on, and then tape it up to stop the liquid spilling. And if you've got some powder, some face powder or some eyeshadows, then put a cotton pad into the between the lid and the powder, and it helps stop any powder explosions in your bag as well. So with your makeup, because it's, you know, unless it's obviously a liquid foundation, then most makeup is not liquid. So as long as, I don't think it needs to go in the liquid Ziploc bag, and things like your toothbrush don't need to go in that bag either. So I would have a separate clear plastic makeup bag. It could be another Ziploc bag, but if you've got, you know, something a bit more substantial, you could put all your other makeup, certainly blusher, powder, and eyeshadows and things like that, and eyeliners, lipsticks. They're not liquid, so you should be fine, and just keep it in there. And we can, you know, waltz through check-in easily. Okay, and now we come to your clothes. So, you know, as I've alluded to earlier on, your suitcase wardrobe needs to be both versatile and practical, so that you can, you know, keep the number of garments down, and so that you can take the hand luggage suitcase with you. Plus, it's vital to consider your travelling outfit. Now, I can remember a report a couple of years ago when all this hand luggage limitations came in, and they were sort of buying coats where you could stash all your stuff inside pockets. You could layer up, and, you know, so you don't want to look like a Michelin man, you know, going through check-in wearing all your clothes. You know, it doesn't have to be that way. But what you do have to think about with your travelling outfit is that you wear the heaviest and or the bulkiest items as you're travelling. So that would include a coat or a jacket. And I don't know why I put coats, because there's only going to be one. A coat or a jacket. You know, if you're taking jeans, then again they're quite heavy. So some airlines will have a weight restriction as well. Actually, I didn't mention that earlier on. So think about that. And then boots and trainers, rather than, you know, your lightweight shoes. You don't need to wear them as you're going on the journey. You want to wear the heavier stuff on the journey. But equally, you want to be comfortable. So, you know, that's maybe the opportunity to wear something, leggings or stretch jeans, or, you know, something that's comfortable for you. And depending on how far you're flying, that will make a difference, because if you're flying long haul, you definitely want comfort, because obviously, you know, it's going to be a much longer time. But if it's only an hour's jet over to Paris or to Barcelona or to Edinburgh or to Amsterdam, then maybe it's not so vital. Because you've also got to think, what are you doing when you land? Are you going straight into a kind of work situation, or will you have the opportunity to get to the hotel and change? Are you just going to be hitting the ground running and going straight out sightseeing once you arrive and you've left your suitcase in the hotel? So think about what you're going to be doing straight away, and would you have the option to change even if you wanted to? So that would kind of dictate what you might wear on the journey as well. Okay, so now we get to tip number 3, which is all about colour. Now this really is the top tip, because this is how you will create your versatile wardrobe for your carry-on suitcase. So scary as this may sound, I am going to restrict you to a maximum of 3 colours to have in your suitcase. Now this could be 2 neutrals and 1 other colour. So whether you've had, if you know anything about colour analysis, if you've had your colours done, then you'll have a good idea about the types of colours that you can have in your capsule, in your wardrobe, and what sort of the palette of colours you can work with. But those of you who haven't had your colours done, then what I mean by a neutral is that it's a black, navy, grey, white, brown, beige, camel or cream. So if you do know your colours and you know whether you've got more of a cool undertone to your skin, you can see that black, navy or grey or white will be one of your neutrals, and then if you've more of a warm undertone, then browns, beiges, camels and cream will be more what you would be looking for as a neutral. Now I suggest 2 neutrals. It doesn't have to be that way. It could be 1 neutral and 2 other colours. Certainly if you're doing more of a business wardrobe, you may try and plan that around a black, a navy or a grey or a brown, and then put 2 other colours in there. So that's it's playing around with that, but as I say, you don't really want more than 3 colours. It doesn't have to be quite as extreme as this, but that certainly would work for a carry-on suitcase, just basing it around black, white and grey. But it's not very colourful, is it? But equally, what we don't want is something like this, because that's going to be a complete nightmare to coordinate and to be able to create any logical outfits, especially when you're only away for a few days. So, keep it simple. And again, it will require a little bit of pre-planning and thought. You can't just throw this together unless you've done it before and you've almost got a set of clothes which are your sightseeing packing suitcase. It could be your conference suitcase. So if you've done it before, you probably can almost put this together. If you've done a lot of business travel, you probably could almost work this out and just grab it and go. But for everyone else, if it's not something you do on a regular basis, it really is an opportunity for you to have a look at the potential clothes that you have. So is there a colour theme? Can you think about the 3 colours that you'd like to use, and think about the base colour, that neutral colour that you can work with? So is there a skirt, a top or a scarf with 2 or 3 of those colours in it that you could use as a linking piece between your garments? And I'm not saying do everything plain, but plain is easier. But you could have a pattern scarf, you could have 1 pattern top, or a skirt that you could use, obviously depending on what type of weekend you're going away for. And then is there a key accessory? I went away to an image consultants conference in America last year, and everything I took worked with my aqua bluey green handbag, and so that was the only reason that they would get into my suitcase, was if the outfit would go with that handbag, because I was only taking that bag and an evening bag, and that was it. So it had to work. Everything had to work with that handbag. So you could do something similar. Okay, so to give you a few examples, I've been having fun photographing my wardrobe from a couple of trips that I've done fairly recently, just to give you a few ideas and so give you some inspiration. So, as I say, I went to Rome about 3 weeks ago, so the beginning of May. It was a warm weekend. Actually, it was the hot weekend that was in the UK, and it was equally hot in Rome. So I didn't need lots of heavy coats or heavy clothes, but it was quite cold in the evening and first thing in the morning. So I knew I would need a little bit of warm stuff, but nothing too much. So my travelling outfit was a pair of stretchy jeans, a denim jacket. So again, I've got my two heavier items, my trainers, which although they're not very heavy, they are slightly more bulky. And because they're the Go Walk Skechers, which if you've never used them before, they might not look the most glamorous things in the world, but they are so comfortable, and I would highly recommend a pair if you're ever sightseeing or going on a trip like that. I had my long necklace, and it doesn't come out. It's a pale blue t-shirt there, and I also had a pashmina, which is incredibly useful in case you get cold on the plane. Again, of the air conditioning and everything there. And I also had my cardigan, which you'll see later on, at the top of my suitcase. So if I felt I did need extra warmth on the plane, I could use that. And then in the evening, that night, I just changed my top and my shoes so that I felt a bit more comfortable having travelled during the day. So because we arrived sort of in Rome about 5 o'clock, so we didn't do much sightseeing that day. We just went straight out. And then on day one, so on the Saturday, we were doing a lot of walking. So again, I had my trainers, I had my cardigan because we went out quite early in the morning and it was still cold, but I could pack that into my little bag that I took with me. Because I also took I didn't photograph my bag, sorry, but I had an overbody bag, which was kind of my carrying everything around in. But I also had one of those collapsible bags that we all carry around now to take our shopping in. So I had one of those, which I opened out and carried around with me if I needed anything extra when we were shopping and things like that. And that was in blue and navy, sort of like that pale blue and navy stripes. So it all coordinated, as you can see. Because I knew we were going to St. Peter's that day, I also wanted to have sleeves on my top so that my shoulders were covered. And it's a very lightweight top because it was very hot that day, and those are my linen trousers, and I had a different necklace. And then in the evening, when we went back to the hotel, I just changed my top again, changed my shoes, and put my jacket on instead of the cardigan. And then on the day we left, so we had a whole day sightseeing during the day. And so I wore a white t-shirt, white linen top, and I had some wide leg navy and white trousers with the trainers, and wore them during the day. And I had my cardigan again for the morning. And although that is the same cardigan, although it was a completely different colour, that is on the suitcase there. And then I just wanted to show you here. So that is everything I had in my suitcase. So, you know, that's the linen trousers, that's those extra tops, my pattern trousers, the top I wore on the first evening, and the white top there, plus the cardigan, and those are my sandals. So you can see there's absolutely loads of room in there for, you know, the toiletries, for anything else I might take with me, you know. So if you, I mean, I don't need to have straighteners, but if you need to have straighteners, then you could put that in there. There's room for books, there's room for iPads, etc. if you want to take that with you. And so that was literally by rolling everything. It was perfect. It was great. So hopefully that's given you a bit of an idea. So that's kind of a sightseeing. So that was, I was with my daughter and a couple of friends. And then this is a conference travelling outfit. So I went to a conference in Edinburgh last year, and this is just give you an idea of some of the things what I wore when I was there. So it was in November, so it was quite cold. So I had my grey coat, a long grey knitted dress, my boots, and aqua coloured scarf with a necklace. And so that's what I wore to get there, and it's what I wore in the evening when I got there as well, because I got there about 5-6 o'clock and I went straight out. So conference day one, I wore a pattern dress, same necklace but shorter, because it's a brilliant necklace. It converts between long and short, so very flexible. So look for versatility in your clothes, as I said. Again, I had a wrap just because it got cold when I was in the conference room with the aircon, and my grey heels. In the evening, it was quite casual, so I got some leggings and a tunic dress and a scarf again, but back with my boots that I'd worn the previous day. On day two, so that was on the Friday. On day two, on the Saturday, you can't really see these very well, but these are my kind of funky grey harem pants with a pink silky top, and again the wrap to keep me warm, and my heels. And in the evening I just changed my top, different wrap, and still wore the heels. So again, versatility there. And on the last day I wore a dress with my shoes again, and put a different necklace on, but brought the aqua scarf back in. And then before I left, I changed into my boots, so I was more comfortable coming home on the plane. And so I had, what did I have there? 3 dresses and a tunic, pair of trousers and 2 tops, basically, and a couple of pashminas, a pair of boots and a pair of heels. And that saw me through 3.5 days worth of wear. And again, you can see that there's loads of space still in my suitcase to be able to put other bits and bobs in there, including my toiletries and everything, and my makeup. So here's a checklist. As I say, I'll give you a link to the checklist in later on, so you can kind of see the variety here. Now I've put there's a bit of flexibility here, because as I said, it depends on where you're going, what you're doing. So for Rome, I just had 3 bottoms. So I had 2 pairs of trousers and a pair of jeans. Whereas for my conference one, as I say, I had more dresses and tunics and just 1 pair of trousers. So this bit is a bit more flexible and will depend on what you're going to be doing whilst you're out there or whilst you're away. But you can see a variety. You've got different tops, something to keep you warm, a jacket, a coat, a mac, and different shoes and scarves and things there. Now, if you're going to somewhere that's, and it's very worky and you're going to have to be very formal, I would still try and keep to 1 jacket or 1 suit and use that jacket, or, if you can get a suit where you've got the skirt and the trousers, and go for different coloured tops, and maybe not plain tops in that situation, because say you had a black jacket, trousers and skirt, or navy or brown, it doesn't matter, and then you'd had tops to go with that during the day. Maybe then you have 1 formal dress to wear with that, and if it's got long sleeves, you maybe don't need to have the jacket with that, and you could dress out with your pashmina. But you see, if you work within the colourways, you'll be able to sort of work this out yourself. And as I say, it does take some planning. You're not just going to be able to throw this together. So do sort of plan some outfits, mix and match the clothes you've already got, or you'll be able to see if you do have any gaps and do it beforehand. Okay, I can just see I've got a couple of questions. So, can everyone hear me? Because I've just got a thing that someone can't hear me. Can you put your hands up again if you can hear me? Panic. Oh, okay, Joe can now, that's fine. Phew. Okay, brilliant. Okay, so I don't know if anyone's got any questions on that list, but hopefully you can see that, that there's still quite a lot of choice, but the key thing is, and I think where a lot of people probably go wrong, is probably the shoe bit. You do need to really, really make sure that your shoes work hard for themselves. Do be ruthless. You're going to have to make sure they work, and your shoes are probably going to be in that neutral colour. So you saw with with both of mine actually, because I had my Rome wardrobe was kind of navy white and sort of pale bluey grey, and my shoes were pale bluey grey and navy, and both my shoes for the conference trip were grey. So that's working with my colour palette and my style. So I'm not suggesting that everyone should copy what I've taken because it's your style, but hopefully looking at those sort of examples, it's given you an idea of how you might be able to do that yourself. Great, Helen. She says, I've never managed to carry on luggage, but I'm going to give it a go. Brilliant. Yeah, it is a revelation when you can do it, because it just saves so much time, and it is absolutely possible. And it's the rolling that I think makes the biggest difference, but it's also planning and doing the colour part of it, because you can be very, the garments have got to tick a lot of boxes to make sure they get in that suitcase, and so be realistic about what you're going to be wearing. I would also say it is possibly worth sticking a spare emergency top and or dress or tunic or something into the suitcase, just in case you spill something down you, or some disaster happens. So I'm not saying have everything so that there isn't you haven't got a contingency, because I will hold my hand up that I did have an extra top in the Rome suitcase, just a navy linen top in case of emergencies, and actually I ended up using it so on the last day, because the white top did get someone threw some coffee at me at breakfast, which was great, but I had my contingency plan. I could, and it was a short sleeve linen top, so it was perfect. So it is possible, so just think along those lines as well. But the whole concept really, really works. I've been using and refining this process for many years, both for myself and for my clients. And with this knowledge, honestly, it's really powerful, and it does give you enormous confidence. Because as you can see, as I said earlier on, the suitcase really is the ultimate capsule wardrobe. So, imagine what could this, if you get this right for your everyday wardrobe as well as your weekend wardrobe, what would that be like? You're going to gain so much more time, calm and confidence. And I think, it's an element of all of those things that you gain when you do understand, your clothes and get that capsule wardrobe together. So I'm not sure why you showed up today, and it may well be because you're fed up with packing too much. It may be because your everyday wardrobe is overflowing, but you still don't seem to have anything, to wear. And it may be that you're just curious to find out more, because there must be a simpler way to organise your clothes and not have that panic first thing in the morning. And it is possible. There is a simpler process to loving your clothes, to enjoy shopping, to actually enjoy it, to look and feel amazing, and not leave your bedroom in the morning looking like you've just been burgled, as one of my clients said to me once. So you have a choice. You can do it slowly, read some magazines, use some of what I've taught you today, and spend hours looking through your clothes trying to decide what's right. Or you can do it quickly and using my 8-step Wardrobe That Works program, which is designed to bring joy and ease into your wardrobe. So I'm all about keeping it simple. And, I hope to pass that on to as many people as possible. So the Wardrobe That Works program is going to give you confidence. It's going to give you confidence knowing that you've got clothes in your wardrobe that are going to make you look and feel amazing. It's going to give you knowledge, because you're going to understand and know how to select flattering clothes quickly when you go shopping. And you're going to get compliments because you're really going to look effortlessly stylish. It's going to look like you just do it with ease and grace. And I've done all the hard work for you so that, you can feel like this. Wouldn't it be great to feel like you're a kid in the dressing up box? How much fun it was to get dressed and to enjoy clothes, rather than just, it's something to cover my body. And not like this, okay? Which is what I don't want people to feel like. So the Wardrobe That Works program is really about creating a wardrobe that works for you, your body, your lifestyle and your budget. And this is how the program works. There are 3 elements. So number 1 is that there's a new style step to learn and implement every week for 8 weeks. And the first step is available as soon as you register. And the information is kind of delivered through videos, handouts, worksheets, slides and notes. So you can put everything together in a file. If you like to have some hard copy, you can print out all the handouts and notes and everything and have that with you. And then there's exercises for you to do as well to help you really understand your clothes, understand your style, know what you and how you want to look like. We then have a monthly Q&A call to discuss the style steps and your changing wardrobe. So you can talk to me directly and also, hear from other people that are going through the same process as you. And then we have a private Facebook group as well to share your successes and to, ask questions between calls. And there are 8 style steps, which, are quite comprehensive. You're going to go through a lot of different elements to get you to understand, how and why you dress the way that you do, or you want to dress the way you do, and how to achieve that. So step 1 is to discover your style. And it's about understanding your style, personality, why you like different clothes to your friends. It's always incredible. You think, oh, why does something like that work for her, but it really doesn't work for me. We're the same size, we're the same height, we're the same colouring, but I just couldn't wear that. You'll get to sort of work out why and how you want to be seen by others and how you can project your style in an easy and simple way so that you can, before you even open your mouth, people kind of know who you are and what you want to deliver. You can create your own personal brand as well. And, that's kind of what you will learn on that style step. Step 2 is all about colour. So we'll look at understanding colour theory, the colour characteristics, a little bit about colour psychology and neutral colours. So how to build those, your wardrobe, those building blocks and the colours that we looked at a little bit earlier, but really how to use those for yourself. And so you can create a coordinated and flattering wardrobe. So although you won't, unless you do, there is a possibility that you can do a colour analysis session with me as a part of this programme, but it's not part of the main programme. But you will have a much better understanding of which colours will probably suit you if you've never had a colour analysis yourself by doing this programme. And we look at body shapes. So discover what your body shape is so that you can appreciate the styles and fabrics and patterns that are going to suit you and understand those figure characteristics and how you can dress them to dress yourself more flatteringly, and so that when you are shopping you don't put yourself through the torture of trying on things that are never ever going to suit your body shape. Accessories, now these really are the secret sauce to any wardrobe, and although I didn't use many accessories in my suitcase, I certainly wouldn't have, it makes the whole outfit look more interesting if you've got scarves, if you've got jewellery, if you've got accessories, different shoes that you can put with things, and you can dress up and dress down outfits that way. So it's all about understanding scale and proportion so you know how to select the right accessories for you. And as I say, add interest to any outfit. Oh, love this picture. Underwear and swimwear, absolutely vital that you know how to select the right bra, how to choose the right knickers and swimwear, because they're going to give you support and smooth out any lumps and bumps and, hopefully make you feel fabulous. And now we come to wardrobe management. So you see we're quite a long way through the process before we get to wardrobe management, because you can't effectively sort your wardrobe out until you know some of the colour and the style elements, because otherwise how do you know what to get rid of? And so that's really, really important. So you learn top tips on organising and decluttering your wardrobe so you know what to keep and what to get rid of. You'll discover new outfits as you put together the clothes that you've got left in your wardrobe, and you're going to create that elusive capsule wardrobe. And then with personal shopping, it's guidance for the stress-free how to shop stress-free. That's hard to say. And you'll learn where to shop, which brands and stores are going to be right for you, when to shop. That could be the time of year, it could be the time of day, and so that you can actually enjoy the whole shopping experience. And then just to finish off, we look at grooming, because that's kind of vital. So no matter how fabulous your outfits are, if you've got dirty hair, no makeup on, or scuffed nails and dirty shoes, actually, that's going to kind of break the whole process. So these are kind of almost the missing links, and you need to make sure that you're looking good on that side of the grooming as well. So this is what the program is going to give you. It's give you focus and simplicity. It's going to give you in-depth knowledge. It's going to give you so much confidence. It will give you time, because it's going to give you time back, because you're not going to waste time trying on stuff that doesn't fit you. You're not going to waste time in the morning because trying to put outfits together, because you will have already created outfits and know straight away what to pick and choose. It's obviously going to save you money, because you're not going to waste money on clothes that don't suit you, and therefore it's going to give you great satisfaction and as I say, joy to get dressed. So now we get to the nitty-gritty. How much is this going to cost me? Well, if you're to work with me one-to-one, I work with clients anything from a few £100s to a few £1,000s. So you need to if I'm working with them one-to-one over a period of time, I'm really getting into their wardrobes. That's what it'll cost. But this program is going to cost you a tiny fraction of that. And we've got a special offer on at the moment with the Wardrobe That Works program. So normally it costs £97, but you can get started today for just £67. And you're going to get, once you sign up, you get immediate access to the first style step, so that you can start discovering your style straight away, and an invitation to join the private Facebook group. Plus the chance to talk to me and ask any questions directly to me during our monthly Q&A sessions. And if you want more one-to-one support with the chance to discover your colours that suit you, as I said, there is a VIP offer as well. Now this, because of my diary limitations, this is available only to 5 people, and this is £127 instead of the normal £157. And this would include a one-to-one Skype colour consultation and coaching call with me, and that can be at any stage during the programme. So you can find out your colours and have a chat with me one-to-one. So just to recap, we have you'd have 8 style steps to study online over 8 weeks to help you create the wardrobe that works for you. You work through all the essential style elements that I teach my one-to-one clients in your own time and in your own home. And then you get support from me and the others that are going through the programme, so you aren't alone. And if you've got any questions you don't want anyone else to share, then you can obviously message me as well, and we can do that, or email me. And then you've got ongoing support after the programme is finished. So anything that happens, I will always be updating the programme. There'll be more stuff going in there as we build the programme. So you can get started right now for either £67 or £127. Plus there's a fast action bonus for the first 5 people who take action today. So if you sign up within the next 24 hours, I will also send you a great little present which will help you with your accessorising. So if you want to get started right now, head over to this page on the Wardrobe That Works website and click the Buy Now button, fill out the order form, put your payment details in and receive the link to your first style step, and be ready to start enjoying all those compliments. And just to keep that there, so you've got that if you want to have a look in more detail at the programme whilst I'm talking, because I'm now ready to take questions. If anyone's got any questions, then as I say, please pop them in the box, whether it's about the programme or whether it's about the packing your suitcase. I'm here to help, so please pop some questions in there just see any come through. Oh, yeah, hang on, I can just see. Let me just count that from the... Oh, blimey, sorry. Let's go back to whiz through everything. I'll click there. Oh, no. Sorry, everyone. There we go. I'll keep that on there. I won't touch anything, just the box. Okay, so I can see I've got a question from Sarah there. How long is the offer on for? It's just till next Tuesday, so the 31st of May. So that's how long the offer is on for. And so if you want to get involved with the Wardrobe That Works programme, check that out as soon as you can. Oh, I've also got one from Andrew. We've got a couple of men on the call tonight. Does this work for men, the packing part of things? Absolutely. Still, all the tips will remain the same. Well, not obviously. The clothes will probably stay. Will be different. And so, you know, think about colours. That's the really important thing. And, you know, if you can manage with, if it's a work situation and you're wearing a suit, then try and manage with one suit, but have some things to more smart casual to wear in the evening. You might need to take another jacket, and that's the same for women as well. If you're going into it's a very business-like, and that's your corporate sort of dress, then you may need to take another suit jacket, or you know, a more casual jacket, maybe like a blazer, or you know, for us, for women, it could be like a textured tweedy sort of jacket, and use something like that, because you're still going to have the structure of the jacket in that situation. So hopefully that helps, but keep it to the same sort of colour, and do the planning and do the packing tips as well. With a jacket, you probably wouldn't roll it, but you maybe just lie that on the top once you've folded the arms in and flipped it, the bottom up, then that will help you. Okay, hopefully that helps, Andrew. Okay, Anne asks, just a thought about what to take. Include a padlock and a key. Then if your cabin bag has to be put and hold, you can lock it. I know of someone who's rushed and left his money in his backpack, which went into the hold, and the money was stolen. Thanks, Anne. Okay, yeah, so maybe think about a padlock, maybe not a key, maybe a padlock with those, like a combination lock on it, but a padlock might be a great idea if it does have to be put in the hold, because no amount of ribbons is going to stop it being stolen if the cash is in there. Yeah, brilliant tip. Thanks for that. Okay, let me just see if there are any other questions that are coming through. Yep. Okay. Oh, Mary says, oh, when's the first call? The first call is going to be on the 7th of June, and which is Tuesday, and I'm looking at doing it about 1 o'clock, so lunchtime. So that seems to suit most people that I've spoken to who have just started going through the programme. So I've been having sort of through May, I've been doing a promotion to get to kickstart the programme again. So that's what we've been doing. And then she says, will the calls be recorded if I can't make it? Yes, absolutely. And so that, you know, if you're on holiday or you're away, then absolutely. And so if you've got any questions, then you can always ask me those beforehand. PJ says, if you have to put your case in the hold, please make sure your laptop or iPad tape comes out first. There you go. So yeah, make sure those things as well, so that if you're going to be potentially if you're late, you think you might be late, and that there might be the possibility that you'll have to put your hand luggage into the hold, you know, make sure you do have that separate bag. So the other thing is, you know, have those little pack away bags that we could now have to have with us when we're going shopping. You know, I bought one from Primark for £1. Well, actually my friend bought it for me, but you know, it's packs up to tiny, tiny size, like probably about 3 inches square, and it's flat, and it just goes in your hand luggage, easy peasy. And and if you were going on a beach trip, you could put one of those in there as well, couldn't you? And have that as your beach bag, or use your if you're allowed another bit of hand luggage, then you could use your beach bag there. And Carol says, I think that with cabin baggage, they don't like tweezers or any sharp objects and will make you remove them. My friend lost her hairdressing scissors. Yes, absolutely. Sorry, didn't mention that one. Yeah, you can't have any scissors or anything sharp in there, and tweezers, they're very a bit iffy about. I don't know, PJ might know, but I think it depends on the person, on the guy or woman who's on the machine with tweezers. I've always thought they might confiscate my eyelash curlers, but they haven't done yet, or think that they were scissors. But so far, so good. And I'm sure I have taken tweezers in, but equally, I've heard people have them taken out. Yeah, PJ says generally the small tweezers are okay. But anything that's sharp, hairdressing scissors, Carol, would definitely be taken. Don't think that would be allowed. They would certainly do something about that. Brilliant. Okay, so any other questions? Because we're spot on 9 o'clock. That's good going. But as I say, if anyone's got any questions about the process, what I'll do is for all the people who've been on the call live, as a gift for being on the call live, I will send you a copy of my checklist as to what to pack. But we'd also remember not to take anything sharp, as we've learnt from looking from the questions here. And if you are interested in the Wardrobe That Works programme, then obviously contact me or have a look at it, sign up. It'd be great to have you on board, because the people who've been through it just love it, and it's made a massive, massive difference to how they look at their wardrobes. Carol says, great, thank you very much, very informative, definitely put this into practice. It works, it is amazing, and I love it now, being able to think, and I'm seriously thinking I'm going to, if I go on a 2-week holiday, then again you could probably pack most of it into a hand luggage. My husband would be amazed, I'm sure, but I'm sure it's possible. And I did meet a family actually when we were on holiday once, and all 4 of them had just come with hand luggage, but they knew they could hire their beach towels. They knew that they had towels in their apartment, and they also had a washing machine in their apartment. So she said it was easy. Yeah, and Leslie says, thanks, we go away for a week summer holiday. We only take hand luggage now, and even been to America for 5 days doing lots of different stuff with hand luggage only, and 8 presents. So that's it. It is possible. So go for it and practice. But, I think the planning, the colour, and the rolling, the clothes are the 3 things to really take away from this and enjoy. So happy holidays, everyone, and hope to catch up with you soon. Bye for now.